This is the MCCU Show podcast.
Home to banger Christian conversations.
And definitely good vibes.
It's home away from home.
Welcome guys to another episode of the MCCU Show podcast where we are home away from home.
It's KK,
Bichii,
Becky,
and Ruth.
I am back, guys. I have not been with you guys for the past 2 weeks. And Becky, Karega, and Ruth have been doing the episodes without me. Y'all have been having a lot of fun, Becky. Am I right? Ama mulikuwa mmenimiss, eh? Am I missed?
we miss Kuku, miss. I did not miss you at all.
What? It's okay. It's okay. I see we've become acquaintances now, eh?
Just kidding though. Missed you a lot. No, Bichii, we missed you a lot. Ulikuwa umeenda wapi?
I was in Maldives, guys. You know, you have to take a break. You have to just reflect on your life and live the life, you know. It was actually so amazing. Eh? So anyways, thank you guys for tuning in for today's episode. Today we're going to be talking about something really interesting. Our topic for today, we're going to peep into the industry in our respective careers with none other than a former CU chairperson of the main campus Christian Union. Was it 2020 or 2021? I really mix up these years, you know. I feel like 2020 is not even a year anymore. We just passed it. So we're going to be joined by Evans Omondi, who is going to be talking about peeping into the industry and the place of a Christian in their career. So let's begin.
Yes, I'm Evans Omondi. Yes, by God's grace, I'm saved, and I'm very grateful to be a guest in this show. Yes, I was in main campus Christian Union many years back.
Many years.
I graduated in December 2021. Yes, many years back. Yes, and also thank God. Yes, I was blessed to serve as the chair. Yeah, it was from 2019 December, right? Yes, through to 2021 February. Yes, and all through, we thank God even for the time that you are there.
Yes, thank you so much, Evans. And so you say that you are the CU chair from 2019 all through 2021. That was a really trying period. Using COVID, we were not really in school. Hey, I feel like it has been so long, and yet it's not so long. You were just in school the other day. But so what did you do for what did you do for a living? What did you do while you were in university? Which career path did you choose?
Yes, I did a Bachelor of Economics and Statistics. Yes, and I graduated last year. Okay, yes, last year, December, that is 2021.
You see, you're basically still a fourth year. By the Evans and me are like age mates, you know. Hey, Ruth and Becky, y'all are first years.
You know, you start respecting your elders.
So what are you currently doing, Evans?
Okay, so as at now, I'm doing something which is totally different from what I took in campus. Yes, as at now, I'm a customer service representative. Yes, with a solar company called Solar Panda. Yes, that's where I'm currently at.
Wow, good. That's really amazing. Living examples. Evans, you were just talking about side hustles last week. Was it the week before? The week before we were talking about side hustles. And our guest was sharing with us that some of the side hustles that people start while they're in campus or in uni, they actually end up doing them for a living. And he actually is doing it for a living right now. And it is very different from their course. So we can totally relate to what you're doing right now. And our listeners can actually see that you don't really have to be confined in your career space, which is something that we're going to be talking about in depth for today. So first things first, we all have the expectation that, okay, I'm gonna do this career in my first year. Maybe I'm a journalist, maybe I'm a doctor, maybe I'm an engineer. And after my 4, 5, 6 years, I'm gonna go into the work industry, into the job space, and I'm gonna do my thing and chase the success that we all talk about. And Evans, I want you to tell us about your experience at Solar Panda up to now since you started working there. What has been your general overview of the work industry as a Christian in this particular space?
Yeah, so I think with Solar Panda, it has been so many years since I joined them. Actually, I joined Solar Panda back then in was it in 2019? Yes, well, it's around October. Yes, it should be October 2019. Yes, it was the time that we were going for. We had just done our sessions, the semester, so we were going for that break. And because I didn't want to go home, so we had to maybe start looking for this internship, or maybe just places so that they could keep us here in Nairobi. Yeah, because those of us who campus grow to Nairobi, we at times don't normally want to go at home during the breaks. Yeah, so I was maybe looking for these different places where maybe I could work so as to be here in Nairobi. And then, yes, I did many applications. Yes, and Solar Panda was one of them. Actually, when applying, I didn't even know what Solar Panda was, because we applied through the Office of Career Services. Yeah, we just sent our CVs there. Yes, and then they now connected us to the company where we are called for an interview. Yes, and we thank God I was able to be among those who are selected to join the company. Yes, when we started, we were still students, so we were just part-timers. Yes, where we were working for, is it 4 hours? Yes, it was 4 hours a day. Yes, for 5 days a week. Yes, and it has been a journey up to now. We've grown from part-timers, and then you are given the contracts. And it has been a good journey, I can say so. Yeah, as a company, it is a place where I'm not sure, in case maybe I get any other job, it will be like as good as it is here in Solar Panda, because with the managers that you are having there and the team leaders, there are people who are understanding. Yeah, because there are people who are there to hear you in case maybe you are having any issue. Yeah, there are people who are easy to approach to. And I think that is something which is good, not only in the workplaces, but even in this life as general, because maybe we can be going through a lot, maybe some challenges at work or even at school. But in case maybe those who are on the higher ranks from us, if the people who are easy to approach, then it can now make your life to be, let me call it smooth in a way, and it even encourages you to even work more hard. Yeah, so I think it has been a good experience for me. Yes, and I'm looking forward for it being even better as time goes by. Yes, Bichii.
You are practically living the life that we are all imagining, going to the workplace industry and it having a very, very, it being a very good experience. And from what you said, that you actually joined Solar Panda while you were still in school, doing internships here and there, 4 hours a day. I can't help but think people are serious, Becky, what are you doing to enter your job industry right now? Kazi ni kukula tu klabu na kukuja American Wing. Becky.
Bichii, I am still children. I should be happy. I should rest.
I think you're still children.
We are not meant to to work too hard. Hey.
Welcome to the Gen Z generation, eh? Y'all don't want pressure, eh? You don't want pressure. Karega, we were just talking about how Evans had his experience in the job industry at Solar Panda, and he was talking about how he joined it while he was still in campus. Karega, do you have a similar experience right now as you are joining as you're nearing your 4th year? Have you done some internships here and there?
Yeah, for me, I actually started working very early. Immediately I finished Form 4, I got a job. Because that time I was part of the January intake, so that meant I had to stay a whole year at home. So, but even before I knew that, I already got a job. Like January 2019, I finished KCSE in 2018, and by that 2018, I applied for a job in December and got it, and even went for the interview, was trained. I was just waiting for January to join. But something very interesting about this first job, it was more volunteering. I wasn't really paid money. Volunteering, basically you're given a stipend, a very small stipend, like 1,000 after every 2 weeks, just to help with your fare or something. But most of the work I was doing was for free. So immediately I knew that you need this volunteer experience to add to your CV and to enrich your experience. So I just got it from a friend who sent it to me randomly on WhatsApp. I just finished KCC. I was like, what do I want to do? But it was already in my mind that I want to get a job immediately. So, and I knew about, I don't know how I subconsciously knew that you need volunteer experience and you don't need to look for the money first. So I got the job, I did 4 months for free. And this is why I tell people, even in campus, that don't let money be your motivation, because the money will go, but the skills will remain. So I, of course, 4 months working for free. It was a teaching assistant job, did some awesome projects there. So 4 months came, I actually got a job into a private school. Now was being paid. So that was nice until now. I joined now campus and had to leave the job. But even when I joined campus, I still having had that exposure of working before, I knew that working and getting that work experience is very important. So currently I am also working. Yeah. So as I speak, I'm still working. I think I started August last year up to today. Still working. It's actually another unpaid internship with the University of Nairobi, now in my field, in my area, working at the studio. And it requires a lot of commitment and sacrifice, because as I said, money is not your number one goal and motivation. You are looking for the future. I usually say, right now you'll be paid in exposure, you'll be paid in experience, but one day you will redeem those exposure and experience points. So hang on or hang in there, brother and sister, just hang in. Things will get better. Yeah. So I think we might have all jovial and very fun work experiences. Of course, this is just what I've started with, because you start with a good. But I don't know if even you've talked about toxic workplaces. I have had my fair share of toxic workplaces. I don't know about Bichii and Becky and Ruth. That would be something interesting to talk about, because it's not always that rosy, as I've put it. It's not flowers and cookies and waking up and making nice coffee and being excited to go to work.
Exactly. But even before that, real quick, Karega, you've mentioned something really interesting about volunteering and doing internships and being paid with exposure, which is something that actually Evans has just shared with us, that he was interning for 4 hours a day, like for 5 days a week. I mean, how was that? Because I don't know about y'all, but hey, working for free, it requires some level of patience that not many people have. You know, you're gonna be humbled in levels that you never knew that humbling exists. So Evans, can you give us a bit of insight on that, of how you managed to do that internship? Was it a paid internship? And if it was maybe unpaid, how did you like manage to go through all that without like waking up in the morning and say, by the way, I'm not waking up and going siwezi amka na niende nifanyie mtu kazi and then I'm not getting paid, or kazi za kanisa, it's just imenifika mwisho. How was that experience for you?
Yes, maybe that working for, can say maybe it's not for everyone. It's not for the faint-hearted. Yeah, but maybe I think what can motivate the same is maybe someone's ambition or passion. If maybe you are passionate about something, yeah, that's when it can push you maybe to work for free to get that experience. But for my side, I think even before joining Solar Panda, yes, there is another organization that should I say worked for it, or maybe I was assisting in the same. It is an organization that they were selling honey, hizi asali. So I also sold honey while I was still in campus. Yeah, that was in from I think 1.2. Yeah, so I was helping that organization because they were based in I think it was in Kahawa Sukari. Yes, so there are some people in CBD who are in need of this honey. So I was like mtu wa mkono, yeah, for the deliveries in CBDs. Yeah, for that I was being given maybe like a small token. But you know, while in campus, ukipata this small money, yeah, they come in handy. Yeah, but when joining Solar Panda, yeah, it was a paid. Yeah, I don't want to call it internship. Maybe I can just call it a paid job. Yeah, because we were being paid for the hours that we were working. Yeah, so we were working for 4 hours a day for 5 days. Those were like 20 hours a week. Yes, and we were being paid at the end month. So I think, yeah, in as much as money should not be the only motivation to work, I think it also motivated us to continue working for the same. And for the work environment that was there, I think it was good because we were students. Actually, we were the first lot who were taken from school. We were around 7 of us. Yes, I think there are some whom we joined with that, you know, like Makedi. Yeah, so we were being paid. So, and then the work environment, it was a good environment, as I had shared earlier. Yeah, the managers there, the team leaders there, yeah, they were friendly people. Up to now, they're still friendly people. Yeah, because they're people who you can easily approach in case you have any issue. Yeah, there are people who you can easily approach, and I think for that it's also a good motivation even as we continue to work. Because I know there are some friends, yeah, whom I'm having who like they're just tired, like with the work they're doing, because the environment in which they're working, it's not that conducive. Sasa kama hiyo ndo we can say that toxic workplace. Yeah, but I think if maybe you get somewhere where maybe you are being heard, and not just being heard, but what maybe you require and is within the means of the company, and that they are able to provide it so that to ensure that you are working well, then I think it's something that you can stick with. But in case maybe it's something that is draining you and you're just there for the money, then I think it can be good to maybe start looking for a new place, because ukiendelea kuwa drained even as you continue working, yeah, it can even be a negative effect to the company. because when you are being trained, you cannot give your all in that work that you are doing.
Yeah, I totally get that, because if you're exposed around a toxic environment, as Karega is hinting, it's really hard for you to give it your all. As you said, sometimes you're in these internships and you're very passionate about this particular job, but the work environments are very toxic. They're not very conducive for you, and you just feel like, you know what, I'm not gonna stay here. But on the flip side, you're like, if I don't stay here, I'm not gonna pay my bills. So it becomes a whole complex issue that you can't navigate. And from your experiences and from Karega's experience, mimi na Becky hapa nyuma ya tent tu tunasema we need to get jobs. Becky, where are we gonna get jobs? Because people are getting jobs. CV zetu ni page moja. Becky, where are we gonna get these jobs?
I'm also wondering, but I think after the show I should go pale nyuma ya tent niongee na Karega and Evan and see how they can help me navigate this work.
See how they can help us. Guy, Becky, pressure, you're like, unaniruka Becky.
With a one-page CV.
You guys have LinkedIn profiles.
With a one-page.
I'm on Facebook too now, IG.
The
TikTok. That's how we roll. But back to the toxic work environments that you were just hinting about. Evans, you've given, I've not really understood the concept of the toxic work environment really well. Let me give this scenario so that maybe you can shed light to this. Maybe you're in a workplace scenario that you feel like it's very toxic. The work hours are not respected. Your work hours are not respected. And this is something that our generation has experienced, especially at the start of the year when most of us were getting into the industry for internships, for attachments. And it actually made headlines about how Gen Zs are not tolerating toxic work environments. You know, we are there, but we also know what is good for us. You know, we take care of our mental health. We know we are very strict about our times and the schedule that is there. And so, given this particular scenario that you're in a toxic work environment, is it okay for you to speak about it? You know, maybe your work schedule is not respected, your times. Maybe you're supposed to get into work by 7, you get into work by 7 and leave at exactly 5. But in this environment, you get at work at 7, but you can even leave at 7 or 8, just because the management that is there does not respect your time, which is somehow toxic, because not everything is about work. I also need some time to reflect on my life, have a stable mental health condition, do other things, because not everything is about work. So what are you going to do in such an environment? Are you just going to say, you know what, my health is more important and my morals and my principles are more important? Or you're just going to suck it up and move on?
Yeah, I think with Gen Z, I think maybe at times, this is now maybe on a later note, at times maybe for Gen Z, they maybe usually complain, maybe even when times, in as much as you are maybe given work, because we know that we are supposed to work. It is also a command from God. But at times maybe the work may not be that much complicated, but ni sisi tu wenyewe, we try to complicate it, we don't have that psych to work, because there are two ways. Kuna ile yenye it can be toxic, yes, but kuna ile ni work the way it's supposed to be, but sasa ni ile from us ndio hatutaki kuwork. Then now to handle what Bichii had asked, I think maybe before you get into a job, I think there are usually some guidelines or the job description. of maybe what you're supposed to do in that job, and maybe the working hours that you're supposed to work. So maybe in case you go into a job and then you are working over what was given unto you, or as above the job description that you're given, I think it is also wise to speak out. Because one thing that I said about Solar Panda, where maybe I found it somehow good, it was because they gave us a listening ear. In case maybe you have an issue, the people who are approachable, so that you can just reach out to them and see maybe if it is the problem on our side or the company side, then we talk and see on how maybe we can go about it. Yeah, but in case maybe you are in a work where you are given the job description, you know you're supposed to do this, and the working time is maybe from this time to this time, and now you're finding yourself that you're working more than what you had agreed upon you entering that job, I think it will be wise for you now to speak out. I know at times there are some employers who don't need like the employees to speak out. Ile ukijipata you're speaking out, ile unaweza achishwa hata hiyo kazi. But if you see maybe it is something that was not in the job description and it is draining you, yeah, I think it will be wise to speak out regardless of the consequences that will be there. Because I want to believe that if it is a good employer and they had this job description and the working terms, and they're the ones who are going against it, if you speak out, they can be able to hear you and see on how you can work it out. Yes, but if it is draining you, yeah, it's good to speak out regardless of the outcome that will come from it. Yeah, but also to add something on the same, yeah, we need to appreciate that work is from God, because God mwenyewe pia aliwork, so we need to embrace work. At times it might be hard, but given that if it is within the agreement that you guys had while entering into that job, I think, yeah, you have to give your best.
Giving your best and speaking it out. I think Karega had a very interesting question about that, about speaking out.
First of all, workplace culture is very diverse in different places. Fortunately, you are in places where you are being hard and all that, but sometimes you find your place in your working and there's nothing like listening here, or even your teammates themselves are the ones who are toxic, and you wonder how to navigate. And you know, when now you speak out, it becomes inakuwa workplace gossip, workplace tea. When unapelekea boss tea, that's what your colleagues start saying. Although I've realized, like, if you have internal problems, for example, with your colleagues, it's better to try to solve them at your own level before going up. So like, just try solving issues amicably, because sometimes actually you find yourself in a team that someone is not doing anything, like the job that they're supposed to do. And you know, especially when you work in teams, if one person of the team does not do their work, they're lagging you all behind, and all of you have to meet that deadline. Sometimes the bosses don't want to know what it is Nani and Nani who didn't do. Is it you guys as a group, you didn't do it? So try to solve those issues within. So like, just go up front to them and have a conversation. And I've realized, like, don't be on the offensive side. Don't come attacking someone. Be like, mbona ufanyi kazi? Unajua huku kila mtu amekuja kufanya kazi ni nini? We are all doing our responsibilities and you're not doing anything. Don't come like that on the offensive. Like, be very try to be understanding, like, but still assertive. Understanding but assertive. So that you're not mincing your words. Go straight to the point. Tell them, hi, I feel that your lack of doing this and this is really weighing us down as a team and not making us able to achieve X, Y, Z. Could you please, check on that and improve on X, Y, Z so that we can work better and efficiently as a team? That is a better approach. Of course, this is assuming that you mtu atasikia. Sometimes they won't listen and they'll still continue being stubborn. So that's where now you can go and speak out and give the boss tea, but of course in a formal way. If there are formal channels to do that in the organization, do that. If it's through the HR manager, if there's a HR person in the organization or something, I think follow the formal channels to complain. But that is the last resort. But Evans, I think umesema, if someone has that toxic place to go and speak out and all that, but sometimes naona Gen Z hata hakuna time ya speak out. They want mtu asha resign. Because for me, I don't know about you, I think if the workplace you're in is really messing you up mentally, even leave alone financially, but if your mental health is at risk and it's really, really affecting you to a point that you're not even productive at work and you have tried addressing those issues, I think I wouldn't advocate for resigning day one immediately. I think you resign at the point where you have tried literally through all the available channels given by the organization. Either you've tried internally, you've tried through the HR, through the boss, you've tried addressing the issues that you have, and they're genuine issues. Si kusema kwa ofisi hakuna chai na mandazi, like genuine issues, although that is a genuine issue by the way, but so zingine tu kama ofisi ya wapili. It's a genuine issue, but if you've tried addressing the genuine issues through all the available channels and nothing is being changed, please leave. I would leave immediately, especially if it's really affecting your mental health, if it's really like weighing you down, you're unproductive, and you don't, when you reach that point you don't feel energetic to even wake up in the morning, you don't feel like going, it's a toxic work environment, leave that place like yesterday. But sasa, there's another scenario over here, guys. You are working in a very good work environment. It is not everybody is kind. The supervisor is the kindest person on earth. There is even food in the organization and all that. But sasa, you don't feel fulfilled by the work. You don't feel excited anymore to go. You feel like it's a routine. You even start getting depressed about it. I know someone might say, oh, you Gen Z are feeling so entitled. But actually that happened. I don't know if you guys are the one, because that has happened to me. You are in a work that is well paying. Everything is provided for, but it's not what you wanted. It's not the job you wanted. Maybe you just found yourself because the offer was looking very good and you are in there. I don't, Evans, like what should you do in that situation? You are maybe you found yourself in an organization and it's the dream of many people to work there. The work environment is good. The pay is good, the benefits are good, but you're not fulfilled.
So I think maybe personally I've never been to such, but maybe I think in case you find yourself somewhere, like the work environment is good, but unaona from within yourself, like maybe this is not what I really wanted, it's not even motivating you. Maybe to be waking up each and every day to go to that work. I think it can also be a solution, maybe to try looking for another place. But maybe you can also think maybe to try engaging yourself. Maybe you ask yourself at the first time, why did I want to come to this place? Or maybe what motivated me to apply for this job? If maybe that can reignite the passion that you had for that job, then you can continue. But kama hiyo pia itakata maybe to reignite the passion that you had for this job, then it can be maybe wise to also look for another place.
Now, there is a twist to that, Evans. In the scenario that Karega has presented, you're already in the workplace, you're doing this work, but it feels like it's now becoming a routine, or it's boring and whatever, and you want to quit. But what happens, especially now in careers, for people who are in school, you're in like third year, second year, and you're just like, you know what? I'm not feeling this degree. I'm not feeling it, you know? Maybe, for example, you're doing engineering and then you're like, I'm not feeling this anymore. And then you're halfway and then you're like, now, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? You're just tired. You just want to quit and just leave it. You don't know what you're going to do. You're just like in a limbo. You don't want to do whatever you're doing right now, and you don't know what else you're gonna do. So how does that play out?
Yes, a hard one there. Yeah, but I think the same way, maybe with the workplace, the same scenario that we were having previously. Yes, I think those circumstances zimekuwa mingi, and I believe even as at now, there are still many of our students who are experiencing the same. Ulianza na first year with a lot of psych. That is what you wanted maybe from the time that you were a kid, but umekuja kampo, unaona the content in that course, it is somehow not what you expected. And ama like umepata tu umechoka, ama you get, ama ukisha kwa kampo, maybe you find there is another course which you think maybe yes, this is what I needed, but I didn't know previously. Maybe first, I can't maybe advise someone to maybe drop that course. Umeanza umefika third year, and then unaona like my passion is not in this course. Yes, first I won't advise you maybe to drop it. Maybe what I can advise ni you just continue with it. Ujikaze, utafute on how to reignite ile cycle ulikuwa nayo when you are starting, so that you can complete it. Alafu sasa ndio kama you had passion in another course, then maybe after completing this one, you can start the other one. But at the end of the day, I think it can be something like from within. Ni mtu afanye soul searching. Aone if maybe, yes, I'm doing this course, but sioni how it's going to help me even in future. Yes, and if maybe you are now convinced within yourself that no, hii hata nifanye nimalize, it's not going to help me anything in any way. It's just draining me for no good reason. And maybe you have another course that you think, yes, I think if I do it, I can be able maybe to be motivated and do it, and it will help me in the end. You can consider it. But maybe even before considering leaving this course and going to the other one, maybe you can also ask yourself, what if I start the other course, nifike third year, and the same scenario happens again? Because ile psych inaweza isha the way hii iliisha, pia the other one inaweza isha. Yeah, but I think at the end of the day is it can be a personal decision. Nile mtu afanye soul searching, aone if yes, it's something naweza ajikaza nimalize, well and good, then you go for what you wanted. But unaona kama you just can't continue with it, then you can now consider this second option.
I think this mostly happens when you do a course that your parents forced on you to do. Unfortunately, the incidents I've seen, I know of a Kenyatta University student who was a medicine student, a very, very lucrative career. Literally all of us wanted to be doctors at some point. But this guy was in 6th year, mwaka wa sita, and he committed suicide, and left a suicide note talking about how he didn't love what he was doing, and his parents are forcing him to continue with the course, and this is not what he wanted, and even saying no, now the parents can remain and they can do whatever they want. Now I'm taking charge of my life. then I asked myself, like, did it have to get there? You know, even if something looks very, this is something as society I think we need to unlearn and relearn. Even if something is very lucrative, it's okay to leave it. I always say there's nothing worth your peace. There's nothing worth your life and your peace of mind and your joy. Like, nothing should take away your joy. Even if it's leaving a United Nations job, imagine it's okay, leave. Even if you're on the brink of finishing that degree, but it's literally draining you completely, it's okay to leave. And society should be accepting, because you get really judged by people. And that's why I think sometimes you don't even want to leave that place. And as I said, it may or may not be toxic. Like this guy, I'm sure watu wako namwambia, Aki, unafanya medicine, suvumilie, uko 6 years, uko karibu kumaliza wewe. He was literally almost finishing, like, vumilia. But what if you honestly don't have that will and energy to vumilia at all? Like, what's the farthest that you can go? How far can you be stretched? So I feel like society should be accepting and not judge someone when they leave a very high-paying job or a very promising career in a very promising institution. It's okay. It's okay. If you see me, I'm not saying I will leave United Nations, but the other day I was just talking about how someone left UN. I was just watching a video. So how someone left United Nations, nalikuwa posted in another country, and United Nations jobs hazikuangi hivi ndogo ndogo, nalikuwa pesa mzuri, like very very huge benefits. And the guy literally left to come back to Kenya, and the whole family was like, "Are you serious?" But the guy was like, "I don't like this job." I don't know, you guys, what do you think? Do you think society is accepting, of you when you decide to make that decision?
Yeah, Kairu, thank you for that. Yes, I think with our society, I think we still have a lot of years maybe to come with terms on the same, because I also believe, like, hata kama niwe Karega, like, you see someone who is in 6th year in medicine, alafu anaacha tu hivyo, like, there will be a lot of question. Yeah, hata for me personally, I think there will be a lot of question, because we see, like, being a doctor, it is something which is very lucrative. Then uone mtu amekazana from 1st year to 6th year and then anaacha, yeah, we'll have many questions. But at the end of the day, I think it will now come from within the person. That decision will be made by this person, because they're the ones who know what they're going through. If they're doing this thing, it does not motivate them, it does not bring the best out of them, yeah, it is the person who will make that decision. Yeah, with the society, and I don't think as at now, but as a society we can come to terms with that. We'll still have a lot of questioning, but at the end of the day, the decision will still lay with the person making it. Yeah, so it is up to us. If we do the soul searching, then this thing is just draining us and it's not helping us, then yeah, we can be able to drop it.
I think the society is also selective in what it can accept or not accept. And I'm not throwing any shades to anybody over here, so at BMC, don't come at me. Why? If you hear your friend is doing Bachelor of Music or Bachelor of Arts or Anthropology, na ako 3rd year or 4th year anaenda kumaliza na aseme nataka kudrop, anakonga accepted into the society very well. There's a lot of warmth and support. I'm like, but you're doing sociology all that time. Imagine it's okay to leave if you don't feel okay. Yeah, to encourage and everything. But ukisikia msi anafanya engineering, medicine, uko hapo unamwambia, "Wewe vumilia." Like, why are we like that? I'm like, shouldn't we isn't a person's peace and joy more important than the course they're doing or than the job they're doing? Because same thing goes because even the end, all that have a very good potential, even bigger salaries than even these traditional courses that we have been told about: medicine, engineering, law, and they're usually the hardest, by the way. Why are we like this?
First of all, I think we put a lot of emphasis on people validating us for our own lives. We've talked about the society doing this and doing that. Oh, you see, we are putting our own validation in the hands of other people. And I think that's the first mistake that we normally make. But for our generation, I feel like that is changing, because most of the people, as speaking from experience, as from my friends, they're gonna do them. You know, you've heard of this, like a phrase, do you. They're gonna do them, and whatever other people say, they're gonna block that noise if it's not constructive noise. If you're judging me for not taking up something, then that's your own insecurity and that's your own problem, and it does not have to affect me. So learning how to block that unnecessary noise from affecting you is the best way for you to move forward with this. Because if you put other people's opinions about your life into consideration, then you're not really living for yourself. You're living for them. You're living through them. And that is something that you have to learn by yourself, because once you're told, you're just like, oh, I don't want to like go against society rules and whatnot, which I'm not saying we should go against society rules. I'm not. All I'm saying is we need to identify that your choices define who you are, and other people's choices should not affect you, you know? And once you pray to God and ask him for his will to be done in your life, and you pray about it and you're sure about it, then you proceed. Don't listen to other people. Don't let other people's opinions affect your life, especially if it's not constructive. You know, other people make opinions. We make opinions about other people's life when we have not even known anything about them, you know? And that is what even we were hinting about, the gossip that is going around. Every now and then you hear, hey, ule kijana wa nani, mbona hakufanya medicine, mbona hakufanya hii ingine. It's like, hello, this is my life, it's not your life. And other people will always have an opinion about your life. It is something that it is just gonna be there because people feel like you're not doing enough, you know? When you go to University of Nairobi and do something like maybe journalism, and another person go to University of Nairobi and does medicine, you who is doing journalism, some people will have to say, you're not doing enough. You could have done a stronger course like maybe engineering. You could have done a stronger course than maybe medicine, you know? Everybody is gonna have an opinion at the end of the day. But knowing yourself and blocking that particular noise that is not constructive, because other times people have opinions that are very constructive, that they're checking you, which is very important because we all need to be checked every now and then. That is important. But if the criticism or if the opinion is not constructive, then why say it? It's only detrimental to you as a person and to your mental health. And we were discussing hapa tu nyuma ya tent na Becky hapa when you guys were saying that about the workplace being like a place where like you start a course or you start a job and then you're not fulfilled about it. Tulianza na roho tukamaliza na mwili. And Becky hinted on Colossians chapter 3 verse 22? Becky?
It was Colossians chapter 3 verse 22 to 24. It says that slaves, obey your earthly masters in everything, and do it not only when their eye is on you and to carry their favor, but with sincerity of heart and reverence for the Lord. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord and not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you're serving.
So we were discussing this verse with Becky, and it basically says that it basically hints what we will be talking about in the workplace, and how our work should be a reflection of of how we serve the Lord. You know, there's this part that says that work hard for all the time, not just when they are watching you. Work for them as you would for the Lord, because you honor God. You know, in our workplaces, in everything that we do, we should be working as if we are working for God, which is kind of interesting because Karega has hinted a question about our workplaces being against our values as Christians and our morals as Christians. Now, how are we gonna work as we are working for the Lord when this particular workplace environment, as we've labeled it through our discussion, is a bit more toxic to our Christian values? And how are we gonna navigate through that, Evans?
Yes, as Colossians tells us that in everything that you do, yes, we are supposed to respect our earthly masters, and at the end of it, there is also a reward. Yes, that God will reward us even as we go to heaven. Yes, but the reward should not be the motivation. Yes, I think as Christians, even as we are in these workplaces, yes, we need to represent Christ in these different workplaces that we are in. Yes, we are there for a reason and also for a season, because most of the jobs that Tuko, we won't be there for all that time that you are there. So in as much as we are there, let us know that we are there to represent Christ in each and everything that we do. In as much as maybe it might be a toxic workplace, yes, there is a way on how we are supposed to approach it as Christians. Si ati kama you are a Christian, just because maybe the employer is not maybe doing what you wanted him to do. Sasa wewe ndio you are there to lead the other employees to boycott ama mwache kufanya kazi. Yes, but as a Christians, as a representative of Christ in that workplace, yes, there is a way on how maybe you are supposed to go about the same. The earlier, as I said, maybe in case maybe the employer is not holding the other side of his bargain, because ukianza kazi, there are some terms zenye you agree. So in case they are not holding up to the terms that you had agreed, yes, I think it can be good you're just reaching out kama kuna that avenue ya kucommunicate so that you can also be heard, pia to be heard. And then I think communication is usually key in everything. They can really help, but I know there are some workplaces penye maybe getting that chance ya kucommunicate pia haiko. Yes, so at that point, no, I think ukiona your value as a Christian is not being valued hapo, na unaona communication imekataa, na unaona ukiendelea kukaa hapo, you won't give your best and you won't glorify God in what you are doing there, then sasa hapo ndio maybe you can call it quit. Yes, I think that's it.
From the discussion that we've had so far, there's something that I've noticed that is very constant, and I think we've all hinted to it about the fact that we are getting these jobs for a bit of financial success, for it to for upkeep, that is, or for it to sustain us as we live throughout this world. And that in its own really influences the career choices that we make. And most of the people right now, when you do a poll in a university setup, there was a poll that I can't remember the name of the organization, but the poll was geared upon the motivations behind university students picking the courses that they have picked or that they are doing in the university. And most of them, the results of the poll suggested that most of them were just influenced to pick this particular courses because of the financial benefit of the course later on. And so it got me thinking about the verse of the Bible that says that money is the root cause of all evil, and just thinking about that in its entirety and the successes that and the successes that we crave in our own career paths led me to think about some of the stereotypes of success that our society has come to be accustomed to. And I think that we've hinted upon this in each and every discussion about the toxic workplaces, about us not being satisfied in our own job, like in our own workplaces, not satisfied with our careers and all that, and about how society judges people for leaving a particular career choice because of their own personal reasons. So, Evans, and to everybody, I want to throw this at you. Does our motivation really have to be financial benefit at the end of the day for the career choices that we pick?
Yes, I think being us as humans, yes, I think money has been a motivation to maybe most of the decisions that we make. Yeah, that is a reality. Yeah, but now we have also to see ourselves as Christians, because in as much as we are Christians, we also in this world, we are passers-by, yes, but we also have to encounter what comes by in our journey through this earth. Yes, I know money has been a motivation to many of the things that we are doing, but now as Christians, as Colossians has said, and also maybe to add another verse in Ephesians, let me just read it to us. Ephesians chapter 6. Just a minute. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 5 to 8. Yes, just in addition to what you had discussed about Colossians, yes, it says, let me read. Slaves, obey your earthly masters with respect and fear, and with sincerity of the heart, just as you will obey Christ. Obey them not only to win their favor when their eye is on you, but as slaves of Christ, doing the will of God from your heart. Yes, in as much as maybe we are in this earth working, maybe looking for this job, I know money is a motivation. Yeah, we can't maybe like hide from that. Yes, money motivates us to do some other things. But even as we are doing these jobs, as we are picking these careers, like it should not be just about the money that you are going to have. As we pick these careers, we enter into these different jobs that we are entering in. Yes, I think we should also ask ourselves this question: as I go into this work, am I going to give my best for the glory of God in what I'm going to do in this work? Yes, and if we find that in what you're going to do in that work that you are going into, it's if it is something that is going to bring glory unto God's name, then I think you can go for it. But money should not maybe be the number one reason or the priority for you getting into that job. Yes, but also to add, yes, it should not be the number one priority, but as humans, we know that money also motivates us to do some other things.
Becky, what do you have to say about that? Eh? What is your number one motivation in your career, Becky?
my number one motivation, of course, fulfillment before the money. Like, I don't want to do a job that I don't love. Because I personally am the people who society has judged for living a very lucrative job. Just early this year, I left a well-paying job, and everybody thought I was crazy. Because for me, I reached the work became so repetitive. Sometimes the work was too much. I didn't love the job. It was not something I wanted to do. It was bringing money, yes, but I didn't love it at all. Like, zero motivation, zero energy, until you reach a point you're not even productive. And you're like, hey, if I stay here, I'm even hurting my employer, because I'm not even, I'm not fulfilling my requirements. Like, I'm not performing to my best. I'm not giving my best. So for me, my ultimate number one factor, of course, is am I loving what I'm doing? What I'm doing, trust me, I'll do it to my level best. That's why I left that well-paying job to come to the university studio and intern there as an unpaid intern, and I'm loving it because it's something I love to do. I know I'll redeem those exposure points in future, of course, for a better paying job that I love. Money is important, very, very important. You don't want to be underpaid. You don't want to be a place where you're underpaid and stuff. But for me, I think it's fulfillment and peace first before the money. But I don't think I'll judge someone who goes for the money because you need money. You need money to survive. So it reaches a point, inafika tu mahali, I might be speaking from a point of privilege. And that's why I understood. Actually, I'm speaking from a point of privilege where I can confidently leave the well-paying job and go to an unpaid one. But someone else might not be in that position. You literally need that money for rent, you need for school fees, you need for so many other things. And you might not really be able to say, let me leave this job. Sometimes you actually need it. That's why you find even people doing work that is totally unrelated to their careers because maybe it was the only job they could find. Whether they like it or not, they have to do it to put food on the table. So yes, money is very important. But of course, God will provide. I loved something that Evan said when Bichii brought up that question of the workplace environment that you're in is not aligned to your Christian values. Although Evan kusikia hapo ukitilia msisitizo, labda let me expand on it a little bit. The workplace, maybe you're working in an abortion clinic, for example, because that's what's trending right now. Your organization, or maybe the organization you work with abortion clinics and you're supporting abortion. See to save the life of the mother or the child, like it's just voluntary abortion. And maybe your values as a Christian, you believe abortion is a thing, it is murder. So what do you do in such a circumstance? And the job is very good, by the way, gonna do, but organization yenyewe ndio kazi inafanya, uko kwa front line. So how do you show Jesus in you in that organization? And now after you answer that question, I think we can talk about now, just even when you're in a normal organization, should you evangelize?
Thank you, Karega, for that. Yes. On the same, I think it somehow, no, I should not say it. It is a hard question. Yes, but as a Christian, I think even before getting a job, yes, maybe I think before you get any job, you'll first be able to know what the job entails. Yes, and I think maybe using the example that Karega has given us, example of maybe working in an abortion clinic, I think by the virtue of you being a Christian, I think you getting maybe like that, I don't understand how maybe you can even start applying for such a job and you already know that what they're doing is not something that will glorify God, because as Christians we don't support abortion. Yes, so I don't get how maybe you as a Christian you can maybe even start applying for such a job. Yes, I think even before we apply for any job, we need maybe to understand that we are Christian, and each and every job that you are doing, it should be something that brings glory unto God. So if we go to such a job and we just see it like from the start that it's something that does not glorify God, then it is, let me say it is a red flag that you are not supposed to go to such like a job. Yes, and going to the second question, that are we supposed to evangelize maybe on this other normal job? Yes, I think as Christians, each and every place that you are in, it should be maybe a ground for evangelism. Yes, but as we are in our workplaces, I know the core reason that you are there is not to evangelize. Yeah, we are there. We applied to get this job, so we need to first of all give our best in the job that you are doing. Because as I had said earlier, that in each and every job that we are in, we are a representation of Christ. So given a scenario that you are in a job and the core purpose that took you there is to do that work, and you're not doing the work that took you there, and you are maximizing on evangelizing to your colleagues, I think even Christ won't be happy with the same. I know evangelism is our commandate here on earth, but we are also in that job to do the work that you are called to do there. Because I believe even we can evangelize even by what we are doing, the work that you are doing. Because if we do something that is good in the workplace that you are in, then it will make other people to start maybe want to know more about you and want to emulate what you are doing. So if we give our best in the workplace that we are in, then it will even attract these other people to you, and they can now maybe start doing what you are doing. So in the conversation, after doing the job that took you there, then now in this other conversation, I think you can now bring Christ. And them seeing that you are performing well in the job that took you there, they can be even motivated to now know the Christ that you are preaching unto them. So yes, evangelism is key, but we are first also need to focus on the job that took us there. And then as we focus on them, it will encourage these other people to do what we are doing and to follow Christ that we are following. Yes, I think that's my take on the same.
I love how Evans is putting it, but even when you go to the workplace, you need to know to prioritize what brought you there before you actually evangelize. So I'm just wondering how you're able to balance work and ministry, because I know work is very demanding, and sometimes you will work over the weekends and late into the night. How are you able to balance the work and also taking some time to just get into ministry and serving in your local church and stuff like that?
So Becky, yeah, maybe to respond on that, I think I just use the personal experience that I have. Yes, sorry for that. Yes, using the personal experience that I have, I think as I had also said earlier, like each and every place that you are in, supposed to be, yes, a ground to talk more about Christ. Yes, I think at times our work can be that hectic. Yes, it's true. So maybe you might find it that maybe you don't have this other time to do any other thing. But also believe in the work that you are doing, there are many other avenues that you get. Because maybe given, I said I'll use my personal experience. Yes, nowadays kuna this work from home, so we don't meet regularly. But when we were still going to the office, yes, there were this several times that we are coming together, like for the lunch breaks, the tea breaks, and even the time that you are leaving office to go back at home. I think now those are the good avenues where you can use for evangelism purposes. And maybe for my experience, I think after joining Solar Panda, I don't think kuna any day yenye I told people that I'm saved, sikumbuki, but even in the interactions zenye we had with these people, ndio like unakuja tu siku moja become going this and this, I need you. to put me in your prayers. So trying to figure out how they got that I'm saved, ndio kaanza kujiambia maybe it's maybe like from the talks that we are having, maybe from what I was doing, maybe those will have maybe informed them about my salvation. And then also maybe from where I work, we usually have these monthly prayers. Yes, they're usually also a good platform where we just meet to discuss and share more about God's work. Yes, I also believe it is also a good platform. Yes, so we can't just say that because work is that hectic, there is a lot to do, then you cannot have maybe like a time for us to share more about Christ. Yes, kuna many avenues na many opportunities zenye tutapata in our busy work schedule. Yes, they're there, and it's just up to us now to use them to evangelize and to speak more about Christ. Yes, so as at now, I think now in as much as si kwa nimesema that I was saved, I think for now, like majority of the people know that I'm saved, and yeah, once in a while wanapata, not me now going out to them maybe to speak about Christ, wanapata tu mtu amekujia like randomly, yes, anakuambia I have this and this, you can maybe help me in prayers. Yes, so akikuja hivyo, it is also a good opportunity that you can use maybe to start this conversation with this person, because mtu akikujia like ile somebody comes to you, nataka uniombe, then you just taking that, yes, nitakuombea, so itakuwa ni kama just a routine yenye atakuwa anakuja tu like you pray for them, and you don't even get that opportunity to inform them that they can also be able to pray for themselves. So akikuja with that opportunity, then you take it now as a good ground to also share more about Christ, and also maybe encourage them that in as much as, yes, I'm praying for you, yes, you can also be able to pray for you, and God can be able to hear you and answer the needs that you're having, if they're in accordance to His will.
Wow, I told you guys, Evans is literally working in a place where an ideal utopia. When we were starting the podcast, you guys have prayer weeks, or was it prayer months? Eish, we are sorry. Anyways, as we close up the episode, Evans, I'd like us yes?
Oh, yes, I was saying we usually have a prayer day each and every month, once a month.
Where? Hey, prayer days. Y'all are listening to this. But anyways, as I was saying, guys, as we wrap up the podcast, Evans, what would be your parting shot to that first year, that second year, that third year, fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, who is heavily expectant of whatever the future holds in their career paths? And what is the place of their faith in their career as they even look forward to peeping into the industry and working for God through their career?
Okay, so many questions at a go, but I think I can remember all of them, even as I try to respond on them. Yes, so first of all, to begin with, yes, we need to appreciate that work is a gift from God. Yes, so each and every one of us, we need to embrace work because God Himself also worked during the creation. Yeah, so we also need to embrace work and work even as we continue being in this world. Yes, and then for you guys back in school, yes, I know that we have a lot of expectations coming out of campus. Yes, maybe first of all, what to say, while you are still in school, maybe we can be there for each other. I think maybe for me, getting this job, yes, God, yes, and then it's just about connections, peer. with our peers up around, because personally at that time when I was applying for this work, as I had said earlier, kulikuwa na so many applications that I had made. For this one, Solar Panda, yes, I think I was just told to send my CV hapo kwa career, your offices career services. So I just sent, but I was not maybe expecting something good. There was another internship that I was much expectant of the same, but when it came, ile yenye nilikuwa sure nayo, ni kama I didn't get it. So this other one yenye a friend referred me to, ndio it went through. So even as we continue fellowshipping together hapo Main Campus Christian Union, as we fellowship, if we also hear about other opportunities, let us not shy from sharing them with our friends, because they can also help us to get these jobs, so that we can even gain the skills, and they can help us even after campus. Yes, and then another thing, yes, expectations ziko after campus. Kuna those wenye I think tukikuwa young, each and every one of us tulikuwa na these big dreams. Tukimaliza campus ni kazi ndio zitakuwa zinatutafuta. We'll be getting these very big jobs, yes, with a 6-figure salary. Yes, but after campus ni unakuja inakuwa noma sana. Yes, but let's not lose hope. Yes, let us continue trusting unto God, because each and every person has their own planning of life. Ni Mungu ndiye anaamua how your life will go. Yes, kuna some wenye watamaliza kama wamepata kazi, kuna wenye watapata kazi while still in school, kuna some will complete campus, wanakaa 1 year without job, kuna wenye watakata 5 years without job. But at the end of the day, let us continue trusting unto God, because he also tells us that everything works for the good for them who he loves. Yes, so everything is in accordance to God's plan. So let us trust unto him. Tukiona maybe things are not going the way we expected it to be, let us not discourage, but let us continue trusting unto him. And yes, at the end of the day, he will always be there for us, and he will help us in the same. Yes, and as I maybe come to an end of it, I'm trying to remember the other question. Yes, the place of faith, ama the place of a Christian in the workplace. Yes, I think as we've discussed, yes, even as we go to the workplace, it is also a good opportunity for us to evangelize and to speak more about Christ. Yes, and we can evangelize in so many ways. It's not just here about speaking about Christ. We can also evangelize by what we are doing, because someone can just see what you are doing and then anakuwa inspired by what you are doing, and in that way ndio inaweza lead to that conversation about maybe why are you doing this. Ni kama you are like a role model to them. So we give our best to represent Christ, and in the end of the day, it will all be a plus to God's kingdom. Yes, so let us take each and every opportunity that you have. Even back there in campus, I know that the key purpose that took us to campus is about academics. Yes, but even as we pursue our academics, it can also be a good platform to continue evangelizing and talking more about Christ. Yes, tusingoje tu tufike the workplace so that you can start evangelizing, but you can start back there in campus. Yes, the free time that you have, the friends that you have, let us speak Christ unto them. Let us always not be afraid of the Christ that you believe in, but each and every opportunity that you get, let us talk about him. Let us represent him fully, and all shall be for the glory and for the honor of God's name. I think that's it, and thank you for having me here.
Amen. I think one of the major takes of this podcast, on a light note, is that Becky and I literally need to go and get jobs right now. Becky, after this episode, we are writing up our CVs.
Si unadanganya watu kuna venye uko na rich work experience. Unadanganya huko watu.
Ninadanganya nani?
Na venye wewe uko na rich work experience. You're trying to be humble.
I have zero. Anyways, guys, that's a wrap on the MCCU Show podcast episode today. If you're not following us on all our social media platforms, I mean, what are you doing? Please do on Instagram at MCCUON and on Twitter and at MCCUON and on Facebook at MCCU Christians. And we normally have Instagram polls at the end of each and every episode. So if you're not following us on Instagram, you're definitely missing out on a lot of information. Thank you, Evans, for joining us to today's episode. And we are really glad to have had you. And that's a wrap, guys. See you next week at 8 p.m. East African time. Bye.
Bye. Bye.